Hey guys, it's Wednesday. You know what that means? Time for another weekly What the Fuck. Alright, so this one's coming out of Chicago. The WTF award this week goes to the Chicago Aldermen. My source here is going to be NBC's Chicago, link below in the video. Now, for those of you on my YouTube channel going, what's a weekly WTF? On my blog, nitrobexreviews.com, every Wednesday, I pick out some topic that makes you go, huh? And talk about it. So this week, it's Chicago City Council approves e-cig limits. The measure bans electronic cigarette use in public buildings, mandate that they be sold behind the counter. Users of electronic cigarettes will need to step outside and remain at least 15 feet away from the entrance to a public building. Right, so that's going to put us right with all the smokers, so we can get their secondhand smoke. By the way, secondhand smoke is more dangerous than firsthand smoke, which is what the vast majority of us are moving away from. So since they don't have any real science to show that e-cigs are harmful, they're going to create it by making us stand around secondhand smoke. The Chicago Aldermen, back to the article, on Wednesday voted 45-4 to approve a plan backed by the mayor to treat e-cigs just like many other tobacco products under the Smoke-Free Illinois Act. The ordinance would limit how the devices can be sold and where they can be used. I'd like to note the 4 no votes on the ordinance are Alderman Sawyer, Cullen, Suspato, and Riley. And I want to give you an applaud for actually caring, okay? Back to the article. This is a direct quote. I do not think we should wait for the FDA, Mayor Rahm Emanuel said after the vote. Adults' ability to get the product won't be restricted, and children's ability to get the product will be restricted. Right. Don't think I should wait on the IRS to get my tax return either. Why don't I just go get that money right now? Yeah, that logic works real good. Adults won't be restricted, no, but they're going to try to take the e-cigs out of sight, out of mind. Children will be restricted. Wait, isn't there a law about that already? And we'll get more on that later. Okay. The article continues. The vote was a lot wider than expected after contentious debate took place at the committee level earlier this week. Officials in the north suburb of Evanston passed a similar ordinance in November. The measure mandates that e-cigarettes be sold behind the counter in a retailer's store, aiming to keep them out of the hands of minors. Some of the cartridges used in e-cigarettes are available in sweet flavors that critics say are attractive to children. Right. Because I'm sure the stores just set the stuff out with no security tags on it or anything so that they can be shoplifted. And sweet flavors are only for kids? We're going down this path again, really? Okay, so the aldermen of Chicago must live off of, only kale and liver. They want all bitter all the time since they're adults now. Aldermen, if that's the case, we do have bitter flavors too. You can try them. I'm not even going to go down the candy-flavored vodka route on this one. The United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported last September that the use of devices among middle and high school students doubled from 2011 to 2012. 80% of those children who used e-cigs said they had smoked cigarettes as well. Okay, teen smoking is bad, okay? Let's leave that there. But taking that, the report showed that e-cig usage had doubled, consistent with studies showing that overall it had doubled, okay? So that means it's consistent. It's not accelerating more with youth than it is with adults. The whole industry is accelerating. And the vast majority, 80% as the article said, of teens were already smoking. No kids, you can't try to reduce your harm and stop now. You have to get to addicted to cigarettes so that we'll keep getting our taxes from those cigarette packs for the rest of your life. Yeah. It wasn't it already illegal for them to smoke? So I guess adding a law to a law to a law that isn't working is going to fix it, right? Many of the devices are sold uh, by some of the big tobacco companies. The mayor Ram Emanuel on Tuesday said those companies are looking for new ways to increase profits. Huh? Back up here. Blue, sure, okay. Lombardi has blues. They're big tobacco. But when did R.J. Reynolds buy Joytech? Did Philip Morris buy out Smoke and I not notice? Sigelli is backed by Camel. What? Where's this statistic coming from? Please cite your source. Please, for the love of God, cite your source. But wait, we're just going back to talking out of our ass because we don't know what we're talking about. Check. Tobacco use in this country has flattened, so the tobacco companies are trying to figure out how to get more users. So they're targeting our most vulnerable population, which is our children. Any one of us here to protect our children, he said at an unrelated event to announce new jobs heading for Illinois. The kids. Think about the kids. We need to expose them to more secondhand smoke, right? E-cigs are bad, right? Several aldermen in opposition to the proposal contended that there's little evidence that the vapor emanates from e-cigarettes is harmful, and some said that treating the devices like regular cigarettes would discourage smokers from turning to them for a cessation method. Okay, several means 4. So 4 out of 49 aldermen in Chicago care about actual science. 8% of your governing body caring about finding facts that relate to your health. That's a good percentage, right? The Illinois General Assembly last year passed a bill that banned the sales of electronic cigarettes to minors. Governor Pat Quinn signed that bill into law on August 15th, and it went into effect at the start of 2014. Oh, wait. Wasn't the whole point about this the kids? Oh, they already have a state ban on sales to minor. I guess a local ban is going to do so much more, okay? So that's the article. That's my reaction, paragraph by paragraph, to the article. All I can say, Chicago, really, why don't we just call it what it is? You needed something to do, you got bored. I wish you would look more into the science behind it. I wish you would also seek out actual information instead of just random facts because you read it on the internet. It must be true, right? I love all the studies about e-cigs. I love all the stuff that we're doing to help scientifically prove that this is a valid method of tobacco harm reduction. But let's face it, while we're fighting in a legislation state, they're not scientists. And often they don't care about the science. What they care about more often than not is the bottom line. So I do believe some of the fight that's been going on has been going the wrong way. We've been looking for more and more facts, which is good. I'm not saying we shouldn't do more research into this. It's definitely good to know what health effects there are with using electronic cigarettes. However, for the legislative fights, that's from New York, from Chicago, it's proven that all the science we can throw at them is very negligible. What matters to them is public opinion and the bottom line. Now, many states get a healthy chunk off of tobacco sales. Look up how much a pack of cigarettes is selling for in your area. Subtract $1 from that approximately, and the rest of that is going to state and local government. Look at how many less packs of cigarettes are getting sold because of these things. That's what science, like, well, it looks like smoking. Really? This looks like smoking? That's what makes that kind of science work for legislative battles. Because the end point is not the science, it's the underlying social and economical ramifications. Even in this article, it was presented that he was talking about this at a place talking about creating more jobs. Yeah, because harming the e-cig industry is going to stunt local businesses. So that's helping you, right? Nobody went down that path with them, how it's going to have the local economical impact on, you know, loss of jobs from brick and mortars, stunting the growth of a growing industry. All the stuff that you would care about in an economic downturn. We're trying to go, it's healthy. We're never going to win that fight with a legislative person. We're just not. I would love to say we would. We're not going to win that fight with a legislative person. They don't care about the science, okay? So this has been the second episode of the weekly WTF. Again, not all these will go up on YouTube. Some are just in text. Make sure you go to nitrobexreviews.com. I generally have them up Wednesday night sometimes, so check it out Thursday. And you can see whatever has made me just look at it and go, really? Really? Come on, guys. I'll see you again next week for another episode and more reviews. Have a good one.